Hi everybody and welcome to another bedroom guru. Lovely to see you and I hope you're all doing well. I've spent a lot of time on this subject that I'm going to address today. Kalpana from Australia, hey darling, asked this a little while ago about how people with cancer or people that are supporting people with cancer can be helped spiritually. And I had a meditation. I went up to see my guide Julianus to ask him about this. um, this most probably sounds a bit brutal actually, because he said, when I asked about why so many people suffer with it and so many people are affected with it, he said a couple of things which are true but a bit harsh, to be honest with you. One is there's always going to be something in the human population that's going to take place, whether it be the plague or whatever we've been through in the past, but there's always going to be a condition that helps natural order or balance to human population. Sounds awful, but there's always going to be something that's going to affect humankind so that the natural balance of population can be achieved, which sounds a bit harsh but true. He also said that it doesn't help the fact that some of the people that weren't supposed to go that early, if you like, are exposed to everything that humankind have created in the environment, in food, in water. So basically, he's saying that even though there is a natural balance and order of population that needs to have a natural disease that goes from one soul to another, he's also said it's been heightened by the fact of what we've created in our own environment. So if we look at technology, phones, and all this stuff going off about 5G at the moment, the foods, everything's tainted in some way because of our transition into this ever wanting need to progress and have more technology and have more chemicals and God knows what drawn into foods and drinks and all that kind of stuff. So I don't quite know. I didn't quite understand where he said that it's in. We've always got a disease that's introduced to keep population balance. But on the same token, he was also saying, but it also is enhanced more by the fact that you are creating the poisons down there on your earth plane. So perhaps part of the cancer situation is that we have population, but with the choices and what's going on down here at the moment, there's not as many that should be going up, if that makes sense to you. He also said that there are certain paths that people take when they experience cancer. He said there are ones that definitely will pass because that's part of their life plan, that they are terminal and that they will pass to the spirit world. And he said that's a definite. He said they're the ones that obviously go through treatment and obviously for some reason have asked for the experience of going through and trying new therapies and treatment down here that we've created, and then they obviously come away and go into remission from the cancer. And he said the third people are the ones that have cancer but have gone through holistic or self-belief systems to get rid of the cancer. I've read many stories, books, and seen lots of publications on people that have literally got rid of their cancer through crystal healing or through positive mindset and all that kind of thing. And those sort of people are the ones that are enlightening other people with that kind of energy. So there's the ones that are never going to make it. They're the ones that do make it through human interaction, and there's ones that make it through spiritual interaction. They're the kind of three cases that he put me in. He said that the people that are on the path to cure themselves or be cured through medical interventions are the ones that I need to look at and address, because there are crystals and various things that can help us along the way. Not to say though that even if you are terminal, or you're supporting or loving somebody that's terminal, all of these things can help make their end of days, if you like, a lot more comfortable. I certainly have been an advisor with people that have only got a couple of days or a couple of weeks to live, and I've helped them through with faith and knowledge of where they're going and what they're doing. I think it's a bit like anybody that's got chronic illness like I have, or anybody that's going through this sort of thing. whether it's, a very serious, very life-threatening condition, or just, chronic pain, whatever it is. We lose control. We feel like we're not in control of the situation. And so I think that by the little tips I'm going to give you now, even that element of having some control over this or some way of fighting it gives you that positive mindset, that you're going to make it, if that makes sense. Gaining control and finding other tools apart from what's been offered by the medical profession is something that I think will help everybody in their mental mindset, because at the end of the day, it's the mental mindset that we need to master, as opposed to living in complete misery and fear. I can't imagine what it possibly could be like. And it's the biggest fear, I think, that holds in all of us, to be told that you're going to eventually die from a disease that they can't change or do anything about. Or even, I've seen it with some of my relatives where they've been told there's not much you can do. It's just the most frightening, most awful word, cancer. And it haunts all of us, that if it happens to us, what will we do? I just want to drop down dead, to be honest with you. And so I cannot imagine, and nobody can, what you go through when you're diagnosed with cancer, the fear of everything that's going to take place from that diagnosis. However, we're going to look at all three groups that Juliana's has described: the people that are terminal, that nothing they can do, the people that are obviously getting interaction through medical help, and the people that are trying all the holistic remedies they can. I know many people that are still surviving cancer, despite being told they haven't got long to live, through using holistic techniques. And this is obviously to do with diet, which I'm not great on. I don't know about the diet side of it, but I do know that there's very effective diets that can help either slow the cancer or even get rid of it. I've heard stories of it, so who knows? You must never give up hope. You must never stop searching for something, because at the end of the day, I keep thinking this. I remember my brother saying to me once that I can't remember if it was in a meditation or something, it's information he was given from that lot above, saying we provided the planet with things that are dangerous to you, but we've also supplied the antidote nearby in nature. And it's quite true, isn't it? It's like, for instance, you've got stinging nettles, you get stung and there's a dock leaf just down the road. That's the first thing I can think of. And obviously when you look back at the healers and the people, before obviously medicine was integrated, everything was from natural stuff, wasn't it? All of the elixirs and everything that was created for healing was from plant-based products. So I think a lot of people are turning back to holistic therapies because they don't want to stuff themselves full of medication. There's certainly lots of people that decide that they don't want to have chemotherapy or put their body through that trauma. So why not allow yourself to feel more comfortable or feel like you've got control by using these holistic means? I'm not going to cover every single thing, but I'm just going to give you a few pointers on stuff that's been highlighted to me to mention to you. The first one obviously is look at the diet. There's so many people that talk about diet, and obviously lots of people use cannabis oil or medicinal cannabis, which is going to obviously help mental processes and pain. So obviously have a look at that if you're in this situation, or if you want to help someone that's unfortunately suffering with cancer. So they're the sort of things to alleviate the pain, the stress, and that kind of stuff. What I would say is that everybody is different. Every person has got different cancer. Everybody reacts to things differently. So there's not the be all and end all. Just keep searching for things that make you feel better. That's all you can do, isn't it? And then it's up to either your life plan, whether you're going to go through cancer, or the fact that you're going to survive it. More and more people are surviving now with medical interaction, which is fantastic. So why not aid that with holistic approaches as well? What I would do anything, and I have done I know that I can't compare my condition to cancer in any way, shape or form, but what I do know is that, when I'm stuck in bed or when I'm feeling rough, I try every single thing I can to fight how I'm feeling on that day. And so that gives me that sense of control, that sense of comfort, the sense that I'm trying everything I possibly can to help this, and I think that's a really positive way to deal with any type of chronic condition. So let's have a look at the crystals first of all. Obviously, from if you've watched other videos that I'm a real crystal freak. I've got them everywhere. But we'll start with the main one, which is obviously going to be My all-rounder amethyst. Actually, I showed you this last time. I've got one sitting here right there. Okay, now amethyst basically is believed to not only have the other properties I've already mentioned in other videos, but also it can be anti-inflammatory, it can take away growths and swellings. It's also good at releasing emotional trauma and grieving. So that's a kind of um, crystal you should have on you all the time, to be honest with you, or if someone's poorly, have it, you know, next to them where they're sleeping, which is why I put mine. Also, you can look at citrine. It basically is a real energy booster. It's something that you can use to, it's basically represents sunshine citrine. Sunshine citrine, try and say that 3 times. It acts like an energy bolt to your body, so it's something that brings upliftment, it brings energy, and it gives you kind of a focus to think, right, what shall I do next? So that's quite a good crystal to use as well. Tiger's eye is basically for self-understanding and security. It stimulates inner strength, and it also helps you to try and be grounded on the problem that you're actually trying to deal with and solve. So it's a very good one for grounding you and getting focused on how you can move forward with your condition and what sort of approaches that you're going to take. Smoky quartz is the number one crystal, smoky quartz, for having with you if you're going through chemotherapy. Okay, so all of these crystals, if you just literally Google what the words I'm telling you, then it will give you all the properties and what they look like and where to get them. Okay, you can get them from local new age shops or order them online and then attune them to your body by either charging them sun, moonlight, rain. I've done this all before. Look at the looking after your crystals video and it will tell you all that there. It basically helps to negate the side effects, smoky quartz, of you having your having your chemotherapy. There's also kyanite, and this basically is kind of known. It's quite a strong stone because it's a dark stone. So if you're particularly fragile or you're weak and you don't like the feeling of it when it's near you, get rid of it. These aren't all textbooks you must have. As I said to you, all bodies are different, so don't like get all of these and chuck them all on your body. You've got to see which ones resonate with you. When they resonate, you'll feel them and you'll feel, God, I've got to have that. Do you know if you go in a shop and you see a skirt or a dress or something, you go, my God, I've got to have that. It's a bit like that with a crystal. You'll feel this overwhelming need that you like it, or you'll sit it and you'll look at it and think, oh my God, I don't like that. So you don't have to use these. But kyanite is basically draws out all the negative. So it's negative energy, dark energy. So this is going to be obviously the cells and the problems around the cancer, and it basically sucks it out and throws it back out into the universe. It's a very strong cleansing zone. It also helps to like reduce fears and all of the dark side of surviving cancer, you know, the fear of what's going to happen. Are you going to make it? Are you going to be in remission? What's the treatment going to be like? You know, has it spread? All these kind of things. The kyanite is supposed to take all that negative aspect of what's going on in your illness and then literally take it out to the universe. So kyanite is Kuanite, kyanite. Okay, for me, I can't handle it. I don't like moldavite and all those kind of ones. They're not good for me. I don't know why. I just don't like dark stones. I'm all pinky and purpley. So have a look at that one as well. And it's even, you could get a little gift pack for your loved one, you know. So it's showing that you're thinking, you know, and whether they're spiritual or not. I personally, I'll grab anything. And so to give this as a gift, you know, perhaps in a little basket with all this stuff here and say, look, this is like a holistic package for you, I think it's amazing. I would also look at acupuncture as well. I don't know if you're supposed to have that during chemotherapy. I've got no idea, but I would try everything to relieve pain and stress. That's what you've got to be doing at this point. If you're not in pain, obviously you've got to deal with the stress. And so any stress relieving techniques that you can think of, adopt them. Kunzite, Kunzite, is works on like the heart chakra, and again it's all about emotional release. It's taking the tension from your heart chakra and it's trying to relax you as much as possible in dire circumstances, and it kind of tries to unblock everything that's stuck in there around, obviously, you know, what you're going through if you're a survivor or a supporter of someone. So they're the kind of key crystals I would recommend. By all means, if you want to go into a new age shop or go to a well respected crystal healer, they might even give you even more crystals or ways to actually help work with crystals on this. I'm not an expert on healing cancer with crystals at all. I'm just giving you what my knowledge is from the angel realms, from the spirit worlds, and what I've learned, okay? And so they're the kind of crystals you want to be looking at. I would also, as I've said to you recently, I've just recently introduced myself to sacred oils. I would definitely be using violet leaf at this time, which is for grief. We are going through a grieving process. We are going through a grieving process of the shock of what we've been told that we've got, and obviously how to cope with it and what's coming up next. You've got to be as strong as you possibly can. So I would definitely use violet leaf oil. Google sacred oils and see what makes sense to you. There are 22 different types of oils, and there'll be one that will resonate with you and you think, yep, I'll either give that to whoever's suffering, or for me if you're the cancer sufferer. I would also, on the angel realm side of it, Archangel Michael all day long, working on the vibrant warrior, strength, fighter, deep blue ray. Michael, I need strength. I need to get through this. I need to get through the chemo. I need to get rid of this cancer. I want to survive. So he's your main warrior angel that's going to come in and assist you with that. If we've got to the stage where you know there's nothing else can be done, but you're still trying holistic therapies, then I would certainly have Archangel Raphael in with you, but also during any time during the cancer. He's the Archangel of healing, and so we're going to be incorporating his green energy into our bodies as much as we can, visualizing that, asking him to heal whatever is going on in our bodies. As I said, there are 3 pathways to this. You're going to be passing, you're going to smash it, or you're going to do it yourself. So, you know, Archangel Raphael, bring him in. He's a top healer, so bring him in as well. For people that are getting to the end of their days, people that know that they're going to be passing soon, or family members that know that their family are going to be passing soon, the worst possible outcome, we're going to have Archangel Azrael in, Azrael. He presides over families that are basically facing someone that's about to pass. He also presides over the soul of the person that's going to pass. He brings in all of the people from the spirit world to visit around and bring comfort to that person that's due to pass. He is basically the one that takes up the soul up to Jeremiah. So he's kind of there for support, love, comfort, stability to family and people that are due to pass. So that's the Archangel you need to get in for that, okay? And I've mentioned him before in many videos at all. I know I'm rushing through this like a to-do list, but I don't want to end up talking forever and ever and you get bored. It is a very difficult subject to discuss. It's a very difficult subject for people to talk about sometimes when they're going through it. All I can say to you is that if it was me, I would just, apart from the stuff that I've just said, I would definitely try meditation, because that is when you're going to get the strongest connections from your guides, whether you believe it or not, or your loved ones, to give you insight on how to fight what you're going through. I would also think about getting out in nature as much as possible, tree hugging, get the energy of the trees, whether you feel an idiot or not, do it. I would try and be the most relaxed and the most at one with myself I possibly could be. I would have nobody around me that drains me. I would have nobody around me that can't support me in my fight for this cancer situation. And I would Google everything: holistic therapies for cancer, holistic diets for cancer, what do I eat, what don't I eat. Try everything you possibly can to feed your body with positivity on a spiritual, emotional and physical level. So you're putting in good foods, you're getting rid of foods that are not good for you. Some people may think it's all a load of rubbish, you either got cancer or you haven't. I don't believe that. I've seen so many stories where people, even from Rhonda Byrne, The Secret, there's a woman that said, I'm not having this. She had a breast tumour, and they said it's very, I think it's stage 4, it's really bad, and it just disappeared. She got rid of it. And I know that I'm talking about my dog, this is really, really bad, but comparing that to a human being, but my dog had an aggressive tumour in the bottom of her jaw. I know I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. And I refused for it to grow. I refused for it to affect her face and throat. So I healed her every minute of the day that I could with a selenite wand, and asking Archangel Raphael to help. And the tumour disappeared. The oncology department at Cambridge University were like, this is an anomaly. We just have got absolutely no clue how this disappeared. you know, and I knew how I'd done it. I also used holy water as well from the Pope's font, and that's the story I've told you about before in another video. But, you know, I think there's a lot to be said about positive mindset. But, as I say, you are on a journey. Some people's journey is to pass with cancer, others is to survive it and pass that strength and that knowledge on to other people. And so I hope that you're in the camp of, I'm strong, I'm going to fight this, I will survive, I will be cured, and I'll go on to tell other people and share how I did it. There's loads of different fruits and different mysteries of the planet that, you know, certain tribes, cultures, and country folk totally believe in as cancer cures. So just have a little look round, on the internet, and look at all the sort of things that other people are doing. Certainly in Grenada there was a fruit that grew off a tree that also goes into a juice, and all of the locals swear by it, saying that they wouldn't have chemotherapy, they just have this specific fruit, and for the life of me I can't bloody remember the name of it. I can't remember the name of it, sorry, but just Google it, Grenada fruit for cancer, and it most probably come up. Google's very efficient with this sort of thing. So become a fighter, become someone that's refusing to be that person laying there giving in to this disease. As I say, originally intended in humankind for balance, for population, but unfortunately it's got out of control now because of the conditions that humankind have created through the technology, through all the poisons and God knows what they put in the foods. We are open to it. You know, if you look at the damage of what sugar can do, I wouldn't touch sugar if I was diagnosed with cancer at all. There are so many things that are carcinogenic, I can't say it, carcinogenic, that you need to look at and get away from. And to be honest with you, I would do that if you even haven't been diagnosed with cancer. Start looking at things that, you know, sometimes you get this red wine creates cancer and then suddenly, no, it doesn't, it's really good for you. Then we had coffee, didn't we, at one point, and then take coffee. And it's just like you get the little passing whims of rubbish that say, that claim to do things. Look at the things that have stood ground over an element of time, that have always, you know, stood and been good for you, and have a look at that rather than these like quick flashes of what's good for you and what isn't that pop into, you know, social media. I feel prayer also is number one priority. I do it as a natural course now every day. In the morning I do a gratitude prayer. In the evening I do a thank you again, gratitude prayer for the day. I do a what focus I would like to achieve. You know, I pray about what I would like to achieve, how I want to go forward. During the day I even pray, and I don't mean you have to sit down like, you know, you see like Christian or religion people sitting there praying. I literally just chat to them like they're sitting with me having a cup of tea. And so you don't have to do anything special. You can either do it in your mind or just, you know, say out loud, you know, like, I really want to achieve this, or I really want to heal from this. Can you please help me? I don't know why I'm still in this physical body that doesn't work very well, because I do everything possibly that I can. But I think the number one thing is acceptance and finding ways to positively motivate yourself, your mind, your body and your soul during the time that you're poorly. All I can say is that colour as well, colour therapy, any colours that are conducive for healing, greens, purples. I love green now, and I used to hate green because my dad died in a green van, and I was like, no, I hate green. I cannot get enough of green now. It's really weird. Pinks, I have pinks everywhere. I've suddenly started buying pink clothing for that self-love. So, you know, if there's any questions you want to ask me on how you can help yourself if you're going through this situation, or if you are terminal and you know that you will be passing, I have got the videos of when they come back and when spirit return. Have a look at those, because they'll tell you what will happen as soon as your physical body passes. And this is what I've done for a number of people where they've only had a few days to live, and I've been in contact with them to tell them what to prepare for, what's going to happen next. And every single one has come back saying how much comfort it's brought them, that it isn't the end, and it isn't the end. And I don't care how sceptical you are, I honestly believe that most of us, when we start facing those last few days of our physical life, we do start investigating, and we do become intrigued if there's an afterlife and if our soul goes on. Categorically yes. And that's how I've helped people that are actually facing physical death. But if there's any questions you want to ask, because I could be on here for an hour talking about all aspects of this horrific disease, If there's anything you want to ask me on this subject, please comment below or send me an email, nickyallen333@gmail.com, or it's quite easy to get to message me on Instagram and Twitter under Nicky Allen, because lots of people haven't got hold of that yet, so I'm not dealing with thousands of messages like I do on Facebook, because I can't do the inbox in Facebook, because there's tens of thousands of messages, and unfortunately a lot of those are littered with rubbish, you know, like the people saying hello, you're a beautiful lady, and all of the advert crap and that. So you're going to be better trying those social media sites to get to me. If there's anybody you know that is scared of cancer or is going through it, please send this video on, and if there's anything I can do to help you during this really difficult time, I'll do it for you. These are the basics I've given you. As I say, otherwise I'll be going on forever. If there's anything that you need help on, please just let me know. And I look forward to the next video that I do. They're very sporadic, my videos, because of how my condition is and how busy I am. As you know, at the moment my book is currently going through the publishers, so that is my priority, to get all that work sorted, and my magazine work, and then I can get on here and talk to you. So I really do hope this helps you. I hope it brings comfort. Please think about incorporating angels into your life during this difficult time, because you will see the benefits and the results. I can't prove it to you. You need to just dip your toe in and try it, and then you'll see the results of what you get. And you know, I was talking to my friend Jo today, and my other friend Lindsay last week, and I introduced them to this spiritual path to show them how capable and how brilliant they were. And now they see synchronicity and signs and the coincidences that take place, and it's just so beautiful to see them growing into that new spiritual life. I'm telling you, once you adopt this spiritual life, nothing, you know, everything is so much easier, everything is so much more comforting, because you're not alone, because you get the most weirdest and amazingly clever signs to let you know that they're there. But it's only until you work it does it work for you. So with that, my darlings, I send so much healing and love to anybody who is being exposed to this awful, awful disease. I wish you every strength and love. If there's anything I can do to help you, please send any questions or remarks, and I'll do everything I can to help you. So with that, God bless all the brilliant, brave survivors, the brilliant, brave sufferers, and all those brilliant, brave people who are going to be receiving that awful news tomorrow, next week, or next year. I send you so much love, and I really do hope that you get through it. With that, I'll love you and leave you until the next time. Take care now. Bye.